I think the economy aspect of this game is there, but people overreact to it when they add an extra monster that drops an ultra rare or so on. I like going to trading hubs to just sell items to get a couple 100,000 taros. I don't even put much effort since I have a ton of ultra rares and racing items just because I like to collect sets and whatever, but some people go over dramatic over absolutely anything. You know, people that grind all day and have multiple accounts. Fortunately, I only have a few primary characters, and fortunately, at least for myself, I only collect items once. If I really, really like an item, I would get it at most uh, uh, 4 to 5 times, but I wouldn't go incredibly overboard with it. The thing I find ironic is that those people who are way too cynical about the economy say all the time the game is dying because the economy is dying are the ones that will be playing no matter what. Okay. I know around 5 to 10 friends who play FusionFall and just come back when events happen, and they don't give a care about the economy. More people play FusionFall for the actual missions, events, and to have fun rather than grind in a virtual economy. There is a lot of economy and item talk in the forums because those are the most invested players this game has. That's very true. I 100% agree with you. Vast majority of people, they just care about um, doing the missions. Nothing wrong with them. And and I do agree. The people who talk about the economy, the people that are here day in and day out, they're the ones most dedicated to the game. But it can't be like that, to be honest. What kind of game is that when the overwhelming vast majority of people are only online for updates? What about the people who log in every day? But I do agree with you that even like no matter, but honestly, we're at this point inside of the trading community where people are just fed up. Like they are fed up. We are fed up that it kind of feels like the devs are not listening to us. But I can understand that and also give counter arguments that, yeah, that yes, the devs don't care about you, but understand that the devs also care about you at the same time. They're learning from their mistakes, but and just understand that it takes time to build an MMORPG. I mean, this is not a single player game. It would probably be easier if it was a single player game, but this is an MMORPG. There's a lot of dynamics to be considered for this. So I do agree with this person. It's a good counter argument to Rome. So the same people going over dramatic by making multiple accounts and grinding all day do it because there's nothing else to do once you hit level 36 other than what your friends do, leaving the game until they update it. As you said at the end of your post, grinders and traders are the most invested players in the game. He's agreeing with you. The rest of you literally do not play until you see an update and a shiny new item to collect. So do you suggest everyone who is at level 36 just come off and come back during updates? Because that is sure what is happening more and more. I agree with this. I agree with both of you. You guys make excellent points. And the answer is this. Here's the left side. Here's the right side. Let's go. Here's the thesis. Here's the anti thesis. Combine them together. Let's form a synthesis. Form a middle way. Okay. Out of everything you said, I feel like you missed the points that I'm stating also. I'm for an economy and I genuinely think it should be expanded on and more items should be ultra rare. This should also find a workaround against the multi-account exploit, and this absolutely deserves its own dedicated video. I don't see the main point of the game as the only way the game needs to be, but that is exactly how others see it. I don't agree with any items being brought back if you still want items to be exceptions. So his counter argument is would have to be like the whole Balenciaga, the whole monopolies are formed naturally. Who traded with like Mike and others, they did that with consent. It's literally all or nothing. It's not fair to players who did collect mysterious vendor items to have those items returned, or even Halloween 2019. Nothing separates the mission caps and original Clockwork set from other limited time items except for the time they were available to players. In regards to hacking, I am stating that there is no point to Taros or items being duplicated. It's only cheating in the sense of modding, like on Skyrim. Okay, I just disagree with this, but yeah, I can understand that. And this is one of the parts of your arguments that I disagree with. There should not be an all or nothing. One of the parts of your arguments that I disagree with. There should not be an all or nothing. Some items do not seem to celebrate a specific occasion, like the mysterious vendor items and most birthday bash items, so they should return even if it is temporary. All items are different and represent a wide variety of things, so some are more worth of returning than others. Besides, the developers have previously hinted that they might reintroduce mysterious vendor items to the game. If the developers gave us at least 1 week's notice that the mysterious vendor is going to be removed instead of abruptly and unexpectedly removing it, which is a poor decision in my opinion. Yes, I absolutely agree. I play a mobile game, Marvel Future Fight. The community hates it when they make these important changes without any heads up, and there would have been a reason to collect them. Secondly, if you think that it is not fair for those who did collect mysterious vendor items, there wouldn't be also unfair to those who did not collect mysterious vendor items or newer players who never got the chance to even purchase one. The problem with like everyone else is that like there are points that Rome agrees with, but I don't know, maybe they're just selectively being biased and just pointing out the flaws of his argument and not considering the other good parts of his argument as well. But that's okay. There's a difference between limited time items and event items. Okay, it's pretty much the same thing. I already said that. I've been aware that the developers plan on bringing back the mysterious vendor items in another capacity, but I also have joked that they should just make the press hat a drop from the newspaper Ninja in that case. One, because they'll be essentially worth much less if they are introduced as an item to be farmed anyway, and two, because it fits the monster. Yeah, I mean, if they were to remove the multi-accounting, yeah, I mean, either way, the item is going to come back and the item's value will drop. And if it were to become a grindable, then people would just multi-count it and it just becomes pathetic. My argument is not strictly on those items, though. More so, ultra rares that were limited time in general. If we're going off what you have said, that no item is essential to the game, and that the game is for the most part also about collecting items, they can all be added without any type of consequence. From what Slavin said, and in my opinion, it generally is not fair that some players who found this project out much later should miss out on Clockwork and mission caps just because they were not there for it. As much as it pains me that I don't actually own the Clockwork nor the mission cap, despite the fact that I'm an OG player, I was playing during the subscription era of the game. So then we find ourselves in a compromise that won't completely satisfy anyone because players that miss an item that were originally a limited time or event item will want the chance to get it again. But this in turn ruins any value in it. Take the hollow suit never returning as an example, as no one cared about it or valued it until it was randomly removed. And that was kind of sucks. They should have done that with some notice. It instantly became much more valuable and is considered a pretty good rare in-game, where at one point it was not on anyone's radar to collect. So I already said that, but devs do ruin the value of items, but sometimes it's justifiable, but the counter arguments for that are also justifiable as well. So I don't know. I also do not agree with the special items like Artist Barrette and Pencilback being non-transferable, as again, this pretty much excludes people from ever having a chance at attaining those items of no volition of their own. Maybe a sort of compromise again is to just make these items tradable so there will always be a finite amount of them. Now, when it comes to items such as the Pencil Backpack as well as the Artist Barrette, thankfully there's dozens of them. I use this as great examples because I don't care about not being able to get them. Heck, I deleted my account with the original Clockwork by accident, and yet I will never get it again. But I'm not asking for it to return as you are with the mysterious vendor items that have attained an obvious value to them compared to the normal game rares like Ace Jacket. No, it's always kind of odd that these limited time items actually have more value than the grindables themselves, but it does make sense because with grindables, they're always there, they're permanent, and so the supply will slowly increase, whereas the event items, their supply is forever finite unless the devs plan to reintroduce them back into the game, especially ones that are worth of uber value.